Hey guys, Edre here, and today I'm going to be doing a brand new album review. Well, actually, it's going to be an EP review. I'm going to be reviewing the debut EP from metalcore outlet Hawk, Tolerance's Paradox. Going into this, obviously this is their debut. The singles I checked out just to gear up for this. I really mainly went into this mainly today. Really started diving deep into them much more very recently because I wanted to prepare myself for this. So, what are my overall thoughts here? What is my overall background with the genre? Let's just start there. Because this is their debut, there isn't too much to talk about in terms of my background on them, but more so the genre itself, how I feel about metalcore in general. To be honest, it's one of those genres where I feel like people need to really do it very well, or else it can come across not that well executed. And I hate to use the word cringe. I hate to use those words, but I really do feel like every now and then some of them do come across a little too much cringy just because I feel like it's overblown sometimes. But every now and then I do stumble across a band or a group that seems to execute it in a way that feels passionate but still feels very natural. And I will say, going into this, I was hoping for that, and for the most part that's what I got. Musically, there seems to be a very good composition on all of the tracks here. The first thing that really stuck out to me in terms of the way these songs are composed and the way they're layered is that the opening track has these nice strings over them, which are layered upon these really thick, chugging guitars, which is something that I actually thought turned out really good. They could have easily gone without the strings, and it would have made the song have a lot less character, but just that little touch itself definitely shows their attention to detail, and I think it's a really great choice there. And there's a lot of it is more metalcore. There is some other influences in there as well. Mileage even has a bit of an emo flair to it, which I actually thought was really one of the better songs on here. I thought that was a well executed track, and I really like the trap beat that really comes into play on counter ops. I feel like a song like that needed something to spice it up a little bit after you get song after song that all kind of follow through with that same sort of sound. It's nice to hear them bring that little trap beat in there, really kind of shake things up a little bit, and it really makes it stand out amongst the other tracks on here. I thought that was one of the better songs. However, I think my favorite song on this EP is Universes. I think that the much more slower and heartfelt composition, as well as the lyrics and just the style of the song, really is a nice change up at the end of this EP that really does show that the band does have more diversity to them, does have much more versatility as well. And I really think it is my favorite on this EP, without a doubt. Production-wise, I feel like this is a pretty standard production that I am kind of used to hearing from this style of music these days. It's nothing that really blew me away or left me, like stopped me in my steps or anything. But I do think that it is a pretty solid production, pretty solid mixing. And and one of the things that are worth pointing out is that the singles that were released previous to this album were actually kind of mixed again to be revamped on this album, like such as Counter Ops, which the trap beats really did stick out even more on this EP rather than the initial single. And once again, Universes has a very atmospheric production, a little more atmospheric than all the other tracks on this EP, and I actually think it turned out quite well. I would have liked to hear them go down this route a little bit more, but it is their debut EP. What can I really expect here? Overall, this is a bit of a shorter review simply because this is just a shorter EP, and a lot of the major points are very easy to get out of the way first. Overall, I really did enjoy this EP. I think it's a very promising debut from this band. I really think that in the endless sea of metalcore bands out there, I think these guys have some potential. I think that if they really perfect their sound a bit more, if they experiment with different styles, different sounds, different production methods, all that, if they just build upon their sound even more, I feel like they could have a really good album on their hands. There is some flaws here. I mean, I just think overall, as a debut, this is a strong debut, but it's far from being an ideal project. And I think that they could definitely take the great parts of this EP and really improve it on a future album, which is something I look forward to seeing. But with all that being said, I had a lot of general enjoyment going into this. I was glad that I liked it. It wasn't the most impressive thing I've ever heard. and I really, really hope that they improve upon their sound and continue to get better. But this is a really good starting point for any band, and I was left relatively satisfied. I have settled on giving this EP a decent 6 out of 10. Now, that might seem a bit harsh right off the bat, but let me explain. Anything above a 5 is good, anything below a 5 is negative. So a 6 is a positive review. It wasn't my favorite thing I've heard all year, but it was a really solid debut, and I really look forward to seeing where they go in the future. And a little side note, just while I'm ending this, just in case you didn't see my last video, I just want everybody to know to don't take my reviews too seriously. At the end of the day, this is a very casual YouTube channel. I'm not trying to be Pitchfork. I'm not trying to be Fantano. I'm literally just doing this because I like music, and it's my hobby. With all that being said, Tolerance's Paradox by Hawk, the debut EP. Decent 6 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good starting point. That's it, and goodbye.